Using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty.
Surprisingly, some people
Don't wait another minute. Be encouraged, educated, and inspired. Go to GenesisScienceNetwork.com and watch this free channel today.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and thank you for watching. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies. We bring you the innovators behind the companies making the headlines in that space. Some are sponsored, some are invited, all are curated and focused on telling you, the viewers, their story. Here we go. The Clubhouse Media Group is a content hub, talent management agency, and digital studio, and also a talent investment fund. And with me is the president, Chris Young. Chris, great to have you.
Hi, good to meet you, and good to be on.
Tell me a little bit the genesis of the business. Like, how did you come up with it? How did it start? What brought you to where you are today?
The business was started approximately 18 months ago. And at the time, I was a talent manager for a prominent influencer named Daisy Keach. And she had started a content house, a lifestyle content house. And content houses have been around for quite a while. The first ones were all usually gaming houses. And this one happened to be a very popular one that she co-founded called the Hype House. It made a New York Times, I believe, a headline article. And the thesis behind it was if you get a bunch of influencers together and you let them collaborate with each other, the physical space really facilitated new ideas, businesses, and that's sort of the genesis of how we got to where we are now. So after Daisy Keach co-founded the Hype House, her and I were approached by a private investor who asked if we wanted to maybe go and expand and scale it out further. So that was sort of the genesis. We obviously went ahead and did that and started the Clubhouse Media Group and Clubhouse BH, which was our first content house separate outside of the Hype House.
So you've talked a little bit about you and Daisy. Is she also an executive with the company?
She is a shareholder of the company. Okay. She is not an executive with the company anymore. She has moved on to develop her own separate company since then. She was with us for around 7 or 8 months, but is one of the co-founders of the Clubhouse Media Group.
So talk a little bit about then the executives and the role that they play in the company.
Yeah, certainly. So my background personally is previously as an entertainment lawyer, as a talent agent, and I have also been a multi-time, I guess, e-commerce and fashion e-commerce operator. And I have built multiple companies that have all had one thing in common, which is that I've worked with influencers over the last maybe 12 years or so. And so that goes back to this genesis. I noticed that there was this trend over the last 10, 12 years that influencers were becoming more and more important and popular for marketing and for many purposes. And so I was always in this field in one way or another. I moved to the other side of the table after I sold my last e-commerce company and worked in venture capital as an entrepreneur in residence at Lamppost Group, and then as an advisor at a fund called Amplify. So this is something that I've personally been involved in many ways, in one form or another, with influencers. We have, on top of that, a lot of other executives that really work to help bring this cohesive, I guess, narrative and company. And that is, I'll start off with Simon Yu, who is our Chief Operations Officer. And he has a lot of public markets experience, and that's why we're publicly traded. So he handles a lot of the compliance and the operations and assists with the fundraising and the merger and acquisitions work that we do. We also have Harris Tolchin, and these are all co-founders, by the way. Harris is our chief legal officer. He also happens to have over 30 years of experience as an entertainment lawyer and producer. And because we produce a lot of media, he's been very beneficial in providing contacts and introductions and sort of the know-how as we move into the new media space. This is essentially, influencers are almost like a new celebrity, right? And they're creating content and media that is not too far off from traditional media, movies and TV shows and other types of things like that. We have Amir Ben Yohanan, who is the CEO and one of our majority stakeholders. He was our initial investor in the company. His background is in real estate, and because we have physical spaces, so he lends a hand in helping us to work on that part of the business. And then we have one of our other board members currently. His name is Gary Morenzi, former president of International Pictures from Paramount. And so, of course, a lot of media experience. Going beyond that, we have other members of our team that are very important. Victoria Daniel, who is a talent agent who manages quite a large roster of traditional celebrities and influencers. And then we have Arlene Guzman, who is our chief of staff, who is also well-versed in essentially venture capital, fundraising, and in investment, investment theses. So because we are sort of an investment group in that sense, all those play a part together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
Sorry for the very long answer and introduction there.
No, I mean, what an interesting group of people and backgrounds. And I mean, it sounds like you're all kind of filling each other's needs to help grow this company. So what are some of the benchmarks that you have for Clubhouse Media? Yeah, so some of our key benchmarks really are, number one is we're here to try to help develop talent, new media talent. And those are influencers, as people call them, or content creators. And so our benchmarks are hit when we are able to invest in them and build successful businesses around them and help them become more marketable so that they can bring in more brand deals. So the benchmarks are, we obviously have revenue benchmarks that we try to hit. We have benchmarks in the sense of that we try to develop and bring in and associate ourselves with relevant talent that has a long lifetime value that we can work with and build businesses around. So those are two really large key, things that we try to do. So I'm so interested in the influencer part of it. So what kind of trends, what works in this area? how are younger people consuming this media and being influenced by the influencers than what we may have seen from media in the past?
Yes. So, one could argue that the quote unquote influencer has been around for a long time. Paris Hilton could be considered probably one of the first influencers. And then you have traditional influencers that everyone knows about, like a Kardashian, right, is an influencer. Now, then we have our social media influencers who don't tend to be on as much of the traditional, they don't have a TV show per se, although some of them do have TV shows. But to answer your question, I guess, they're important because it's an industry that companies have realized they need to invest in when they're putting together their marketing budgets. They tend to work really well to help companies launch new products and services, and they are moving a lot of the marketing budgets away from traditional media buys and advertisements. And I think the movement has really been towards influencers becoming more and more relevant to the general public, because people seem to, I think, feel a little bit more relatable to them, even though, some of them, they might live what seems to be a fancy lifestyle or an aspirational one, but they're much closer than even a traditional celebrity. It's easier to look at someone that maybe even has, 5 million followers on Instagram, for example, and say, hey, I associate with that person a little bit more than I do with, I don't know, Tom Cruise or, Emily Blunt. So, yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I have a 12 and a 14-year-old. And so I watch, it's mainly TikTok, is who they see, and they will follow people that I have never heard of. But, it's a totally different way of consuming media and marketing, as you mentioned. So it's very interesting to watch. So, I guess, you're bullish on this, and you think that these younger kids that are consuming media this way will continue to do so. And I imagine the industry will just get more mature and developed as we go on.
Absolutely, and I would even venture to say that it's not relegated to just a young group. The audience is all over. If you look at the demographics of the people that follow our influencers that we manage and work with, they range from the very young side, 12, 14, all the way up to 50, 60, and that delta that you see is all over. I mean, it's not necessarily just young people that use social media.
Really interesting industry. Chris, thanks so much for coming and sharing that. And I look forward to getting some updates as this industry is constantly evolving, it seems like.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it has been a big week at FINXFLO. The company launched basically, and I was just talking to CEO James Gillingham about that 2 years of preparation, James, and you launched. So talk to me about that. What was that like, the launch, and I guess remind our viewers again what FINXFLO does.
Yeah, sure. So the launch went absolutely fantastically well. So I was really pleased with that, to be honest with you. Before I delve into exactly what FINXFLO does, I would just really like to say a big thank you to our community. Our community's done an amazing job. They've supported us pretty much since day one. So I'm very pleased and happy. We've been onboarding a lot of retail customers this past week. We've done fantastically well there. We've also just onboarded our first institutional client, BK Coin, which is a crypto hedge fund. Really pleased there. And we've got many more institutions that are also signing up. And then, of course, I'd really like to say an absolute huge thank you to all of the FINXFLO team globally around the world. whether you're based here in Singapore, Cyprus, Europe, or the US, Miami, or New York, because without those magnificent minds, none of this would even be possible.
Yeah, well, that's great. And I mean, you're right. I mean, it takes like a ton of people to pull this off, but you're leading it. So you must have been, an effective leader to be able to get this to be a smooth launch.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have to be extremely dynamic. We have to be able to push very, very hard, and obviously you have to be able to motivate a lot of people globally to make sure that we all come unified and be able to push things forward efficiently, effectively, and roll out on time. And that's something that we've been able to do as a team.
Mm-hmm. What's been some of the early feedback? I know it's just been a day or so, but what's been some of the early feedback you've gotten?
So the general feedback, to be honest with you, Jane, has been absolutely amazing. I mean, like, people love the UI, they love the UX. We've got the multi-screen charting, but then there's been a lot of people that have also been looking at the aggregated order book. So we actually have an inverted spread. So anybody that actually looks at inverted spreads, it means that the price that you're buying, you can actually buy and sell at the same time and make money from it instantly. So it's basically a negative spread, which is nobody else in the world can actually offer that. So that's absolutely amazing. But there has been some other constructive feedback. So there's been some feedback with regards to trading pairs. So right now we only have Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDC, and T available. We are adding, after this feedback, we're adding another 11 alternative coins to be traded within the next week or so. And then we're going to be adding another 10, 15 every single week. There've also been feedback with regards to platform staking. So instantly we spoke to our blockchain developer, and he's now working on the staking contracts. So that's something that's also super important, to listen to the feedback of the people. And then obviously trading the FXF token. So our customers really want to be able to trade FXF against USDC, T, Ethereum, etc. That's something that we're also working on, and that's now on the roadmap, and that will be rolled out within the next couple of months.
Okay. Well, and I remember when we talked last time, you talked about, competitive price and the aggregation. Explain how that works.
Okay, great question. Yeah, so the aggregation, essentially we have created agreements with 20 of the world's top exchanges on CoinGecko, as well as 10 market-making OTC desks and the decentralized exchanges. So what we essentially do is that we consolidate them, we put them all into one essential league table, and then we will route your order through to the global best price from all of those prices that are aggregated. That's how we're able to offer the inverted pricing. And then of course, because we all come from the traditional world, we offer things like best execution, smart order routing, which essentially means that if you're trading much larger trades, then what we would do is, somebody wants to buy or sell, say 10 BTC, we will slice that up. We then slice that up into, say, child orders. Those child orders may be 1 BTC clips, and then it will go across multiple liquidity providers. So again, we are beating the rest of the market for price and execution. So it's something I'm very proud of.
Okay. Well, and you talked a little bit about adding various coins, things like that. Anything else on the roadmap that you think is exciting?
Yeah, so on our roadmap right now, we've just executed rebates. So the rebates have been rolled out. What that essentially means is that anybody trading much larger trading volumes will be receiving money back. So the more you trade, the more money that you receive back. And even for some of our much larger institutional clients, they will then be actually being paid to trade, which is pretty unbelievable for most people. But because they add so much to the ecosystem, and because of our institutional relationships with those 20 exchanges and decentralized exchanges, it then means that we're able to offer those rebates where essentially you are reducing the cost of trade. We also have staking and yield farming. That's going to be rolled out in September. So that's also an amazing feature. And then, of course, if you're like me, Jane, you're super busy, you're running around from A to be essentially you want to be able to trade on your cell phone. Mm-hmm. So that's also we're about to roll out our cell phone app on both Android and iOS. That's going to be available to all of our global customers, and you're going to be able to trade whilst on the go.
Okay. Well, and how can somebody get started on FINXFLO?
So very simply, if you look at my background, you see trade.finxflo.com. So simply by going to that URL, then signing up, you then go through KYC and AML. Then assuming that you're not a terrorist or on the wanted list, then you will be approved to trade. But I got a bit of a question for you here, Jane. When are you going to be signing up to get the global best price?
Well, I'm going to check it out. I do have some crypto, so maybe I'm going to start small though, so can learn about it. But congratulations, James. I mean, it's awesome to see you have such a smooth launch, and we've talked over the past several months and leading up to it. So it's great to see it kind of come to fruition.
Really good to see you again, Jane. Thank you so much.
Okay. SportemonGo is a full end-to-end sports ecosystem and platform for sports content, fan engagement, AR and VR experiences, gaming, NFTs, and a ton more sports-related experiences. So with me is Ricky Jackson, co-founder, and also Corey Jackson, a co-founder of the company. So welcome. And Ricky, let's start with you. The goal of SportemonGo.
Thanks, Jay. It's good to speak to you again. Look, we're looking to revolutionise the digital sport, having one platform that takes everything from NFTs through to virtual and physical experiences at stadiums, right through to sports betting, all in a single platform that is tokenised. So a real business for sports fans and sports fan lovers that is tokenised, which is new to crypto, going direct to the sports fan.
Mm-hmm. And then, Corey, how is it to have such a big project, a business with family? Because you're father-son, right? How's that going?
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably my favorite part. Myself and Ricky have done a lot together in the past, and this is truly an equal partnership. And SGO, has a passion project in the works of both of us for such a long time. It is a great experience to work together every day and each day to bring a unique set of skills to the business. I have relocated at the moment to the US, which has enabled myself to do face-to-face with our partners, as well as continuing to grow out our networks and make deals with sports legends themselves. Ricky is based in Australia and has been leveraging his global network of the last 30 years to make some truly great partnerships for SGO, and will continue to do so.
Yeah. Okay. I imagine the time change is a little bit complicated, but yeah. So Corey, tell me a little bit about the progress that you're making with SportemonGo. I mean, how's your roadmap? Where have you come and where are you looking to go?
Yeah, thanks, Jane. The first thing is we are a real business, real people, real commercial outcomes, and we're a fully doxed team. The business is 5 years in the making, not 8 weeks. And really it is a 30-year journey for Ricky and myself. We have big partnerships with the likes of Chainlink, casinos, sports betting partners, and now a gift card loyalty partner to go direct to the consumer. sports superstars and SGO token power, and the all-encompassing SGO sports stadium ecosystem is what we are building out at the moment, and that's something that I'm super excited for once that all does come together. It is a super exciting business that goes across all facets of sport, media, NFTs, esports, fantasy sports, virtual sports, betting, and we know how big that is in the US right now, and this is just the start of something for SGO.
Yeah, no, absolutely huge and growing very fast in the U.S.
Absolutely.
So, Ricky, tell us a little bit about the app. What can users expect with that? How can they access it?
Yeah, look, I think Corey gave a very good description just then of what the app is going to contain. I think the most important part is that many crypto projects are just that, they're projects. We have an app that's, at the maximum 6 weeks away. 4 weeks to beta, and then it will be done in a few phases to unroll, what is a massive project and a massive business. But the first stage, you're going to have all the user experiences you would expect. There's going to be loyalty rewards. You'll be able to earn SGO tokens. You'll be able to spend SGO tokens, buy, swap, sell, and a whole range of different fan experiences from AR right through to virtual skins and the like. And then the second phase will include the betting and fantasy sports and prediction gaming.
Okay, so we'd be able to access all that on the app sometime before the end of the year.
Yeah, well, the beta's in the middle of August, and first week in September we'll go live. And with 27,000 holders already, we expect there'll be some pretty good activity right from the outset. And we've also signed some big stars that by the time it launches, we'll be using them, global names, as well as a lot of, household fans will know the players.
Okay, well, I think we should do another interview right before it launches. I just, get an idea of where you are and how people can access it and all that.
We'd love to, Jane, and appreciate your support. And, we want to go to the 99%, not the 1% that follow crypto. We want to go to the sports lovers. We want to educate people about crypto, and that's the 99%. And that's what we're excited about. And thank you for your help.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Corey and Ricky, and I look forward to an update in a matter of weeks, hopefully.
Beautiful.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Enjoy the benefits of the world's first patented time-release hemp-based CBD topical cream. Hourglass has achieved increased topical bioavailability of cannabinoids that slowly release our CBD over an extended period of time. Hourglass is 99% CBD, THC-free, and lab-tested, and verified by scanning our QR codes. Visit hourglassonlinestore.com.
Gensel Energy Group is a publicly traded international diversified holding company, which has been in business since 2002. And with me is Maria Bomboy, the president of the company. To update us again, Maria, great to have you back. And I think we talked about a month ago. So can you tell me any updates over that time? How's the company doing?
Hi, Jane, and happy to be here again. Well, in Gensel, we are very excited with the development of our businesses and future growth. In addition to reviewing growth opportunities in our existing companies, we are exploring new opportunities. In this past months, we have retained a PCAOB accounting firm who can assist in completing audited financial statements. Additionally, we have a new entry, and it is Simon Paolo Bongiardino. It's the Executive Vice President of Italian Confcommercio. In other words, it's the Italian organism that represents 700,000 companies engaged in trade, tourism, and services.
So, and I noticed you also filed your second quarter results. So can you kind of summarize what the second quarter was like for you?
Well, yes, in early July, we filed our second quarter report and financial statements with the OTC markets in the United States. Our second quarter income statements reported over 20 million of US dollars in the gross revenues and net income of over 13 million US dollars. So we are pleased with the continued development of our commodity sector, our biotech sector, our information tech sector, and also our agriculture and CBD division.
Mm-hmm. And then also you mentioned, oh, go ahead, finish.
No, our coffee, no, it's very important, this one. It's our coffee brand has now expanded from Italy into Austria and counts now 49 flagship stores and franchising. And our stem cell group in Switzerland has started expansion into the United States and Canada. So yes, we are very pleased with this second quarter results and the institution of the necessary components for the core development of our parent company.
Now, you mentioned quickly the Public Accounting Oversight Board. So what does that mean for Gansel Energy?
Well, yes, it has been the intent since the group participation began with the Gansel Energy in early 2020. First, our goal was to develop assets and revenue in the company. And now that this has achieved and the newly structured board of directors structure with a PCAOB audit, the company can mature into fully reporting U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission reporting company. Additionally, we have had a strong support provided by financial partners in Europe to potentially dual list the company on other exchanges in Europe to expand our shareholder base.
And then we also talked about the private placement memorandum at the last interview. Where does that stand? Are there any updates on that?
Thanks for asking. This month has been quite busy for the release of our $20 million US of private placement. We were participants with Wall Street Reporter as sponsor at 2 investment and family office events in Beverly Hills, Santa Monica. Last week, we were invited and have presented at the Alternative Investing Forum in Las Vegas. And the results of these 3 meetings have been excellent with potential investor of our private placement. Our advisors feel that the PPM should begin receiving the funds for closing in the next 60 days.
Mm-hmm. And then we're hard to believe, but kind of headed toward the final stretch of summer here. What is ahead, would you say, for Gansel Energy as we head into the end of the summer and for the rest of 2021?
Mm-hmm. As I had mentioned, we are engaged in final discussion with 2 groups which potentially could add 4 solid renewable energy projects and a United States-based company, which could combine with our flower medical, CBD, and hemp medical products, expanding into the United States and in Europe. We are comfortable that our shareholders will be pleased with our third quarter results.
Okay. And then what about beyond the third quarter? Where do you think Gansel Energy will be in the next couple of years?
Well, you know that Gansel is the future. So we are all hoping this deadly coronavirus pandemic situation can be placed under control. So we have been very optimistic over the past 3 months. And as you can see, for our second quarter, everyone is excited to return to normal. So we at Gansel are cautiously optimistic both the United States and the world can return to normal business.
Yeah, let's hope so. We're getting there, but it's slow. So thank you so much, Maria, and I look forward to another update.
Thank you, Jean. Bye.
Bye.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure is 100% private and does not collect or sell any of your personal data. Secure's Helix technology connects you securely to our Swiss servers without the need of a VPN, guaranteeing privacy and security for all your communications. Secure Messenger doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. Chat by Invites allows you to chat privately and securely with anyone outside of your secure network without the need for others to download Secure. Secure Send offers you a private and secure way to email anyone outside of Secure. You won't find this level of privacy or security on any other email or instant messaging application. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Enjoy the benefits of the world's first patented time-release hemp-based CBD topical cream. Hourglass has achieved increased topical bioavailability of cannabinoids that slowly release our CBD over an extended period of time. Hourglass is 99% CBD, THC-free, and lab-tested, and verified by scanning our QR codes. Visit hourglassonlinestore.com.
Solar Integrated Roofing is an integrated single source platform for solar-based roofing installation. And with me is CEO Dave Massey. So Dave, great to see you again. And every time we talk, you have some big development with the company. You made an acquisition. We're going to talk about all that today, but let's start with the audit, because I know that's something that you've been working on for a while. How is the audit of the company coming?
You know, the audit has been a long-going process. We're at the tail end of it now. The auditors are here in San Diego. They're working on it diligently. We're very confident it will be done by the end of August. Worst possible case, middle of September. And then we're immediately going to apply for the QB and do the QB uplist. So exciting times here.
Okay. And then also you're in the process of hiring a new chief financial officer. Where does that stand?
You know, we're looking, we have ads out, we're poking around. We're currently working with Abe Bailey, and, you know, they actually have a lot of resources. I work with Matt Youngman. He's one of the main guys over there, and he has a M&A experience, valuation experience. They have a large team that helps with the audit. So they're a nice fit now, but if we find the right CFO, we definitely will, but we're very happy with Abe Bailey.
And each time we talk, especially in 2020, 21, you've made a major acquisition. So US Solar Network is the most recent one. So tell me about that company and how does that fit into Solar Integrated's overall plan?
Well, just recently we made two major acquisitions. We've acquired Future Home Power, which is one of the greatest pieces. The CEO there, Jason Newby, might be one of the greatest sales people I've ever met. You know, their first month in business, they did a little over $6 million a month. And then right after that, we acquired US Solar Network. Pablo Diaz is the CEO there. He was voted the CEO of the year. And the neat thing about US Solar Network is it's a total network. It's exactly what it is. It has 77 sales teams. It has 36 install teams, puts us in 38 states. So it's going to change our entire model. We won't have to do acquisitions now. We just build out teams on these different networks. We get to claim all the revenue. So it's changed everything for us. Yeah. Great pieces.
Okay, great. I mean, it's good to see it all coming together. And you did have in June, 10 million of sales. So was that a record month? And how does that fit in for the whole year?
Well, give you an idea, all of 2021, because I got to do the fiscal year thing, is we did 17 million.
Okay.
The entire year. So doing 10 million in June is great. And that's not, keep in mind, we didn't have Future Home Power and we didn't have US Solar Network fully going with us. And June is just the start of our season. Our best months are typically July, August, September, and October. So we're expecting for that 10 million number to be very consistent. And we expect it to be even greater.
Okay. Now, 2023. So it's in the future, but it'll be here before you know it. What does 22, 23 look like for you after a big growth year this year?
Yeah, we're very confident in 2022, our fiscal year 2022. I think we'll break the $100 million mark, which would be a little over 5 times the growth from last year. And we're very confident we can double the following year, get us to 200 million in 2023 without really buying any more companies, just growth, working our system, working our back office. And, you know, everything's on plan. It's going very well.
Yeah. Well, and you and I have talked before about how you're in such a macro great industry. I mean, there's a big push for solar. People are more accepting of it on the consumer level. I mean, what would you like to tell shareholders?
You know, another follow-up piece of that. Our solar side is growing very, very well. We're going to really start focusing now on the EV side. I mean, if you notice all the news coming out, the EV and electric cars, and Mercedes-Benz is going to come out with all electric cars in 2025. So that industry really is going to have to grow, and we're going to grow with it. So we're going to really work on that. But I'd like to let the shareholders know that we're working very, very hard. We're very conscientious of them and their and their need for value for that we're going to give them, and we're gonna come through. We're gonna make it happen.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dave. I mean, I've known you for a few years, so it's been interesting to watch you grow and acquire and in this industry. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you later this year.
Hey, Jane, thanks so much. My pleasure.
Thanks, Dave.
Welcome to New to the Street. I'm Anna Berry. Joining me is Alain Guy with GlobeXData Limited, the leader in Swiss-hosted private and secure communications and data management. Welcome back, Alain.
Thank you, Anna. Happy to be here, and hello to our viewer.
Always enjoy speaking with you and really excited about some of these updates you have. First of all, talk a little bit about the recent pushback on data mining and how it's affecting big tech.
Well, that's a good question. You know, data mining has been around for more than 20 years. It started first with little advertising, and we can find out who buys orange juice, and we can target those people. But now it's becoming a problem because all of the big techs essentially hold all of our data. And the way they make money is not by selling you a $5 or $20 subscription every month. It's literally by selling or renting that data. And on average, I think they make about $1,000 per user. And this is how Facebook grew big. This is how Google is big. 96% of Google's profit and revenue comes from advertising. So all of that data that we voluntarily put out on social media, etc., is being sold, and every 30 days is being refreshed. I mean, I can go and get a list of email, and every 30 days is being refreshed because data gets stale after a while. So people are slowly discovering that because of this, their information and their entire lives is out there, and companies, small businesses, buy that data. They don't secure it, so hackers can come in, both to the small companies and the big tech, and they literally hack and steal that information. And where it becomes dangerous is when they have your social security, your bank info, your credit card information. I mean, how many times we read about how many financial fraud there are, and email phishing and so forth. So we're in this mud, so to speak, that is very hard to get out of. And now slowly people are realizing, that data mining is not so great after all. I need to find something that doesn't data mine my information, but big tech, obviously, that's how they make their money.
Right, and it seems like they're also all in conjunction with each other. And here we are just overwhelmed with what's the right thing to do. Not only data mining, but also this huge increase in hacking. And that's been happening, example, WhatsApp, right? And Signal. So talk a little bit about how secure is different than WhatsApp and Signal, especially when it comes to contacts and phone numbers and preventing a hack.
That's a great question. So people sometimes come to me and they tell me, but WhatsApp is encrypted as well. I use the analogy of a car. You can have a nice little car with 4 wheels that may be okay to drive locally, but then if you're going to go on a mountain or a highway and you need to speed up, that's not going to be the right car because it's going to be destroyed. Whereas us, we're like a Land Rover Defender, we got the all-terrain and you're protected, and it'll take a bunch of beating. It's the same thing with encryption. Encryption you can get off the shelf. So WhatsApp may have encryption, but besides that, they do data mine you to start. And how do they do that? Signal is the same. Every application that takes your phone number to download and automatically uploads your address book or your contacts, that is the beginning of the end, because those applications can be hacked. I can go on the internet and find a website that shows me how to hack anyone that has WhatsApp as long as I have their phone numbers within 8 minutes. In fact, I have a shareholder, if I may say, his son just got hacked. So it's not just business people and lawyers and bankers. You have kids out there that are being hacked nonstop because they got personal photo information, bullying. That's a huge thing. People impersonate others, get into your phone, and then they hold you for ransom now. So ransomware is not just for the big banks and the big, pipelines anymore. It's also for regular people, even underage people. So it's a huge problem. And every single application does that because unfortunately, when it's free, you are the product. And how do they propagate? Well, when WhatsApp had this rule that you have to accept the Facebook regulation and terms of service, if not, they shut you down, there was a backlash back in February. People went to Signal. Well, Signal is hosted by AWS. And then it's also the same thing. They upload all your contact. In fact, I have Signal too we test different application. And sometime I get a notification when so-and-so in my own contact list is now on Signal. So there's zero privacy. So the remedy to this is the following. What we do is we never ask for your phone number. That also means that to communicate, you need a different form of ID. So we use this thing called an SMID number, which is generated automatically when you have a secure messenger account or a secure account, which includes the email as well. The only thing is that you can't just upload all your address book and text people, because if not, we're in the same boat as the others. But we do have a system where you can message a non-secure user by emailing them through the application. It's called chat by invites. The recipient would get an email and says, Anna wants to chat with you. They click, and then you and that person now are chatting privately. The whole conversation happened in our Swiss encrypted environment in Switzerland with massive servers that really encrypt your information and that obey by the Swiss privacy laws. And when you are done, you can basically remotely terminate the entire conversation and delete everything. And it also deletes from our servers. We have no data mining as well. We just never data mine. And that's why we charge you $5 or $10 a month for our service. That's the only way, because the minute you give your phone number and you want to upload your address books and your contacts, sure, it's easier, but this is how you are being hacked. And before you know it, your bank accounts will be empty.
Thank you so much for creating this technology, because our privacy is so valuable to all of us. And I look forward to your future updates, Alain.
Thank you, Anna. Happy to come back again.
RushNet is a traded company, but Helios DX, through acquisition, makes up the entirety of RushNet today. So with me, the CEO, Ashley Sweat, to kind of explain all this, the history of RushNet, what is Helios DX, and let's just start. Tell us about RushNet, Ashley, and what brought you to this day.
Sure. Thanks, Shane. Thanks for allowing me on the platform as well. So RushNet is a 21-year-old company that I don't think many people really know or understand. Even the current shareholders may not know the history of the company. But over the last 21 to 22 years, RushNet has gone through several different restructurings. They tried to bring in and go after other businesses, of which many have failed. So recently, in March of 2021 this year, I acquired the control block of RushNet. So I took over RushNet with plans to kind of change its history moving forward. One of the first actions that I've done is we've updated the filings of RushNet. We've got their financials updated. We've moved them to pink current on the OTC market, and now we're starting to really put our full plan into effect. So the first action we've done here recently is we acquired Helios DX, which I'm also the CEO of currently. So we acquired that company, brought it into RushNet effective on July 1st of this year. And so RushNet itself moving forward is kind of act as a holding company, if you will. There'll be other companies that we'll look to bring in here moving forward into the future.
Okay. So what does Helios DX do?
Yeah, great question. So Helios DX is a diagnostics laboratory. So we focus on urinalysis, so urine toxicology, we do behavioral toxicology, genetics, we do infectious disease, which obviously over the last 18 months has really jumped into the mainstream through COVID. And we're looking to expand our test menus as we move forward.
Okay. So what is your outlook on that industry? That seems like an area with a lot of growth and a lot of interest potentially. What's your outlook?
Yeah, great question. So, you know, the diagnostic space in general, it's evolving. The technology is growing. Testing capabilities is growing. So, you know, the future in diagnostic space is very, very bright. You know, that's one of the things that we've done at Helios DX is we really aligned ourselves with some of the top companies and manufacturers in the space. You know, we do business with Cardinal Health, Thermo Fisher, to name a few. And we chose to align ourselves with these companies because as the space evolves, technology evolves, these are the companies that are on the cutting edge.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot coming up. So that's great. Thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing with us.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure is 100% private and does not collect or sell any of your personal data. Secure's Helix technology connects you securely to our Swiss servers without the need of a VPN, guaranteeing privacy and security for all your communications. Secure Messenger doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. Chat by Invites allows you to chat privately and securely with anyone outside of your secure network without the need for others to download Secure. Secure Send offers you a private and secure way to email anyone outside of Secure. You won't find this level of privacy or security on any other email or instant messaging application. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
GlobeXData just launched in the United States. And with me to explain how that is going is CEO Alon Gahi. Great to have you back.
Thank you, Jane. Great to be here, and hello to our viewer.
Yeah, and I know this was a big deal for you to launch in the U.S. It was about a month or so ago. How's that going?
That's doing amazing. We officially launched July 15, but on July 12, we started a little bit of a pre-launch. And the subscribers have been increasing, and we're up 700% compared to the month before in subscriber base. Of course, it's just the beginning, but we're very excited to see what people are saying, you know, what they look for. We have we now know that the business model works, so yeah. that's really a big thing.
Well, and for some people that maybe Secure is new to them, can you tell us what it is that you do?
Sure. So GlobeXData is a company that was founded in Switzerland about almost 15 years ago. And we have two solutions, Secure and Secure Safe. Secure Safe is a document management tool, a password management, mostly geared to enterprise and small business. business. And Secure, spelled S-E-K-U-R, is a suite of product, and we have Secure, which is a secure email and a messenger as well, or Secure Messenger. So Secure sells for $10 a month per user, and then the messenger is $5 a month. The big difference that we do is that we don't use any big tech platforms, so we're not hosted on Amazon Web Service. For example, the messengers like Signal are hosted there, and then you have WhatsApp. So if you want a better alternative, and definitely private, because all our data is stored in Switzerland, you would buy a Secure Messenger. And if somebody doesn't have the messenger, which is very unique, you're able to invite them via email to chat with you, even if they didn't download the application. So that's a pretty cool tool. And then our email also has a similar feature. We send Secure Send. Let's say you want to send a sensitive document to your banker, your client, your patient as a medical record. You can use Secure Send, and then the recipient would get a link to click on, and they can use Secure Reply, and the whole thing, the whole transaction happens only in our encrypted environment in Switzerland. So that's very unique, and we also don't use open source coding like 99% of the software out there.
Well, there was just a study done today called, it was from Social Catfish was the name of the group, but there was like 4.2 billion in internet fraud in the US in 2020. And a lot of it was phishing emails. So this is a growing problem. People have been losing thousands of dollars. The hackers are getting more creative and sneaky. And so, I mean, it's something people should consider.
Well, the big problem is that, first of all, I should have said, we never data mine your information. Data mine is the biggest problem to start. And then 95% of all hacking in the world start with email. So all financial fraud, everything, they get into your email without your knowledge, and then they get to know your pattern, where you bank, what you do, and then they siphon money out of you at the end of the day. So we don't do any data mining. That's critical. We can't even look into your data, and we also obey by the Swiss privacy laws. So nobody, no lawyer, nobody can subpoena that data unless you commit a penal crime in Switzerland. Okay. Which is very hard to do unless you go and maybe kill someone in Switzerland, of course. But, you know, most people wouldn't go there.
It wouldn't be bad, yes. Now, are you also expanding in Latin America?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. We signed an agreement with América Móvil, which is the 7th largest telecom operator in the world. It's owned by Carlos Slim and his family, traded on the New York Exchange under AMX. So we launched Secure Messenger in Mexico. We have an office there. América Móvil total has about 280 million subscribers. And the product is very popular. People are looking to get away from WhatsApp. Even regular people in Mexico, you have business people, you have people who need privacy, because, you know, they don't want to be hacked every time and have their identity stolen every day. So that's that. We have high hopes for Latin America. We're going to start with Mexico first, and within 6 to 9 months, we're going to move to Colombia, Panama, and other countries as Mexico rolls out. This is going to be a very big market. Latin America is an emerging market. It's next door, very easy to deal with, and we're with the largest player in the continent.
Okay, very interesting. And then just finally, what are the main concerns that you hear from customers?
Well, a big concern is privacy. For example, people say, well, I don't want my data to be mined. That's number one. Security is always a concern, but people say, well, you know, WhatsApp is encrypted too, so what's the difference? But the privacy is the biggest concern. And the fact that we're Swiss-based, we have the Swiss law, but most importantly, we never data mine you. And that's the biggest feedback that we get, you know, so that's encouraging. We have people now who want to switch to their businesses. So we're going to target businesses starting September. There's 33 million small business in the United States. You know, we believe that we can get a percentage of those guys as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's a growing concern. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse. And the hackers are getting better at what they're doing. So, I mean, I'm almost falling for a couple. So, okay. So where can somebody find out more?
Well, you can go to secure.com, SEKUR.com. We just got our new website up. We have a help section with all the video tutorials. I highly recommend people go there. And if you want to know more about the company itself, you can go to GlobeXData.com, but secure.com is your best bet. SEKUR.com, and everything is out there. We're also going to launch a voice encrypted version of Secure. We'll talk more about that in future times, but that's coming this year as well.
Okay, well, congratulations on your successful rollout in the U.S. and Latin America, and I look forward to updates.
Thank you, Jane. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
If you've had it with the old news
and the same spent,
well, then Spicer & Company's your place
for the inside story
and for the facts that you need to know.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Nutrisystem.
Introducing